Hi, so welcome back. This is the phase two podcast about the process or the thinking process, bringing your ideas to fruition or reality. Uh, so once you're done with dealing with imposters, success and failure, either that got you depressed or it got you overwhelmed. uh, you know One of these if it gets to you, but you got to be in a zone where you can see both success and failure as imposters and something that's not a part of you, where you can neutralize both. Once you're in this zone, you're ready for the next project, or for going further. So basically, in this whole subject, what you learn is that actions are way more important than ideas. If you look at this whole phase, like the whole value addition comes not because of the thought in someone's head, not because of someone's thought that okay, I want to become a blogger and I want to blog about this. This doesn't add value. But once someone has already done that, either regardless of they're successful or not, you have value for that work. So there's already value added to your work or to your idea or something like this. uh, Now once the value addition is done, uh, and once you're in a neutral zone to deal with both success and failure the same, then comes in the phase where you realize that actions are much more important than words, and they're much more heavier. They have more impact on the world. Once you realize this, you need to start becoming a fool, basically. And why am I saying a fool? Don't take me wrong. Is because a wise man never does things like a stupid man does a lot of things, because a stupid man doesn't care with risks, or like young people especially don't care about risks. But on the other hand, an experienced man would like strategically think so much to take one step, and that I see as a strength and a weakness. But I also see risk taking as strengths and weaknesses. So what I mean to choose the fool's way is that a fool might be a person who doesn't know shit, and who's like just doing things. But on the other hand, he takes the most action in the world. Like if you look at what a fool really he's a very charming person. He's a traveler. He's the one who's got the authority to joke on kings. Joke about kings or something like this. So at the end of the day, when the play is done, either when the play is tragic or it's a good ending story, you see the fool always ends up rich, happy, well traveled. He has the best perspective of life. And I think we all should be fools at one point of our time, where we make more actions than more more overthinking in decisions. Like if you got an offer, just say yes to it. Start doing it already, and then fix it as you go, like the beginning process, like the previous podcast, with that process. So like let's say you want to become a CEO, and now I like if there's a company that approaches you and gives you the job to become a CEO, are you ready to jump into it because you haven't learned anything about it? So it's about taking that action. No matter how much you know or you don't know, you just take that action, and then you slowly fix it as you go. Because when you try to learn everything and be perfect, that's where the mistake happens. But once you take actions, you have so many imperfections to fill that shapes the perfection. So let's say you want to do blogging, and you haven't taken action because you want to learn the best writing style, you want to learn the best content creation techniques, you want to learn more about websites. So you're in this learning process and not doing anything because you want it to be perfect. But on the other hand, if you start off with just writing the content on like one Word document or something like this, you already started putting action into your project. So it's okay to be a fool, it's okay to be wrong. And once you wrote the content, you have a good content, then you work on the writing style, then you have a good writing style, then you worry about the website, and then where it's published. So you build it as you go, rather than trying to be perfect all at once. Because experience or mistakes, basically mistakes, teaches you much more than what books and like the impact of mistakes on you is much bigger than the knowledge you otherwise chose to build, you know. So like rushing like fools, there's nothing wrong in that. So make mistakes, and these mistakes actually shape you better. It's like you know, using, it's like shaping something, shaping a sword or something, you know. You keep removing errors one by one to make it the perfect sword, you know, sharp and amazing. And then they'll come there, once you do this often, where you take action, you find mistakes, you fix it, you take action, then you fix mistakes, you keep getting better at it. At one point of time, it's gonna be bigger than the small ones that you've already done. This blogging thing might turn out to be something huge at one point, you know. It might turn out to be something huge for you. You've worked so much into it, and there's a point, it's a point in life when it actually strikes, you know. So it's like the ice cube technique, or like it's like the sugar cube technique. Imagine putting weights on one side of a beam balance, and then you're putting like 100 cubes of sugar. So the balance weighing scale doesn't move until it becomes 1 kg. So you put 99 blocks, which is not equal to 1 kg yet, and then you put that one, then the scales move, you know. So you do this consistently, and at one point of time, there's definitely going to be recognition, and that's what consistency gives you. Persistence is the only thing that beats Murphy's law. So there'll be that one point of time where your work will be recognized, as long as it relates to history, others, it relates to humans, it relates to human emotions and stuff like this. Your content or business or something, it is going to hit that recognition point. And once it hits that recognition point is where you actually get the actual taste of success. But then it's again an imposter. Now the question comes where it's not about what you like doing anymore. It's about why do you do it. It comes to a point or a phase of life when you think about what you like doing, why do you do it, you know. That is the question you have in your head. That is the main question you gotta answer. So it's not about what you like anymore, it's about why am I doing what am I doing, you know. So it's about finding that reason, finding that meaning in what you do. So let's say food blogging. I'm an international student in Košice, Slovakia, and if this food blogger is gonna cover content on some Indian restaurant, because I'm Indian, that is serving amazing food, like I'm actually grateful to read this blog, because someone's making it easier for me, you know. It has that purpose, it has that meaning. So it's all about figuring out why you do this, why do you want to do this, you know. So once after the recognition point hits, it's about time you figure out why you do what you do. And once you figure it out, like, it's a piece of cake, you know. It's gonna be much more long term than you think. It's gonna be bigger than you have imagined. So now you've figured it out. But also a reason why this happens is, you know, whenever a great work is done, Like once the recognition is done, it's your responsibility, or it's not about responsibility, it's about this moment where it becomes greater, your work becomes greater, or bigger, or have much more impact. And why would it have much more impact is because you have a meaning and purpose towards it. And now there's another reason why people push limits and do what they do. Like let's say you're making a movie, or you're writing a story. There's gonna be thousands, 10,000s, and millions of people probably watching your movie, or reading your book, or reading your blog. But in these tens and thousands of people, or millions, depending on the size of how big you are, there's gonna be one person that really relates, that really relates, and actually feels like, okay, this thing actually pushes me. So when I'm reading this blogging and stuff like this, I'm a normal person who likes food, who likes street food, who likes going around trying new things and stuff like this. So when I read this content, if it's a great content by another food blogger that I'm reading on Pinterest, and I see that this is amazing content, like it's amazing content, and it pushes me to become another food blogger. So there's going to be 10,000 people actually reading that blog, but there's going to be one person that relates to it and understands it completely and wants to do the same thing, or in a different perspective, or in a different style. So that's one advantage. So it's all about creating work in such a way that it at least brings out one of your audience to do something huge. It's like the domino effect. One cube falls, touches the other, falls. That's how growth is done. That's how growth plays a role. So it's about this stuff. It's about this this thing. This is what humanity is about. It's about evolving, pushing limits. So keep doing this. You try to create content like never before. Come out of the cliche, think out of the box, and get it done. And once this phase of like this 1 in 10,000s, and once this kind of phase already happens to you, so each of your blog can, like, let's say, bring one person to pushes at least one person to do something else. Let's say you've done this often, there would come a point in time where you realize there's much more gray than black or white. There's much more gray in this world than black or white, because every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So everything that you do for the reason you do, like, there's your work, and there's always going to be work that's against you. And here, in this way, like, let's say when you're doing food blogging, there is one thing that is your work to show good stuff. Let's say your genuine work is to show proper content of who's gonna, like, cook good or something like this. But there's also gonna be restaurants who wants you to write stuff for commercial purposes, and that's against the genuinity of your work. But then this is the time when you understand that there's much more gray in this world than black or white, than yes or no, and you understand people for what they do. Like, you still respect them for their own perspective, no matter what. You respect them for their work they're doing, not for the perspective they have. So basically, I have this example from, like, Ramayana. It's an epic from Hindu mythology. So this is about a war between two amazingly great kings. It's like one demon king and one reincarnation of God. So when they were about to fight each other, they are going to war against each other. However, they still respect each other's dharma. Dharma means, like, it's the work you do, and the values and virtues you stand by, and your character. So like, even if they are enemies, they do respect each other for how their commitment to their virtues and values, you know. So, and they understand that, yeah, this conflict has to happen at the same time. So it's quite healthy when you respect other people as well, you know. So this is that region. And so when there's a lot of gray to swallow, then a lot of your belief systems get questioned, you know. A lot of your belief systems and stuff like this get questioned and tested and stuff like this. At this moment of time, you just gotta believe in persisting and in consistency. So the only thing that beats Murphy's law is consistency. So let's say you do everything, but something goes wrong. You do every possible thing you can to try, but something goes wrong. So like, let's say there are 5 factors that play a role in everyone's lives when you want to do something, either content writing business or either content writing business or anything.